Dr. Duni Atalabi.
The part that resonated with me, which actually is my question,
Okay.
recovering people pleasers with trust issues. Me, you, same thing. So my question is, how do you catapult yourself from, or catapult your recovery, or kind of facilitate your recovery? Because I think I do need a faster recovery, and there's no like AA or People Pleaser Anonymous that I could join. So please help a sister. Thank you.
That is hilarious. I had to learn that, Glo, if you don't love yourself enough to give boundaries, people will see that. And one thing, when you are a kind person and you have a big heart, you will attract leeches. There's a reason mosquitoes flock to the light. Or what are the bugs? The one that get buzzed when they go to the light. There's a reason the leeches are attracted to the light. They can see your big heart. They can see that you're a giver. They can see that you're kind. And they're like, how much can I milk out of this big-hearted person? And I used to be like, people would literally use their trauma, like they would use their trauma to bond us. If we bonded over similar trauma, that's called a trauma bond. That is not healthy. If the only time you talk to someone is when you're bonding over trauma, that is a big red flag that they are like not in a good place, and they probably need to see a therapist, and they probably need to unpack that in a different way. But I realized there were people in my life that trauma bonded us. And because I was recovering out of my trauma, I could see I went from trauma to triumph, but I can see where there was a void. And I'm like, okay, well, they're comfortable sharing it with me, so I guess I got to fill it. So I got to be their mother, their nurturer, their financial provider. Oh, they're complaining that they can't do this. Let me do it for them. I was enabling like very toxic behavior because I didn't know how to set a boundary. So for me, it was like, people will respect you more when they notice there's a boundary. And when I get emails, because I get dozens of emails daily, like, Glo, I would love to have you on my podcast. Glo, do this, do this. In the past, because I didn't like know what I was worth, I was like, oh yes, I'll do everything to make everyone happy because I'm a good person. I got a big heart. If I say yes to everyone, they'll all love me. Nope, they will use you and they will abuse you. Sorry, not everyone. Let me not speak in absolutes here. But I had to get to a place of like, okay, Glo, what actually excites you? What's aligned with who you're becoming? When I say no to people now, so many of them now can respect that, like, they're like, oh, this comes from a good place. And it's not a no, period. I know there's a lot of memes that say no is a complete sentence. And I'm like, well, not in my vocabulary. No needs a comma and Brene Brown really speaks about this well. It's no, and I thank you for considering me. No, and I appreciate the offer. No, and circle back in a few months and let's talk, you know? So it's an act of self-love. I don't know if there's like a thought process. There's another book that I'm reading, Relational Intelligence by Dr. Darius Daniels. And what he talks about is not every adjustment needs an announcement. So when you're drawing a boundary, you don't have to tell the friend, hey, you're abusing my kindness, so we can't be friends anymore. Like, it's not how it works. We're gonna have a little bit more emotional intelligence than that. But when you do start to distance yourself from people who are abusing your kindness, or you feel like you've been people pleasing them, it comes like one action at a time. Like, oh, can you do this for me? Sorry, I don't have the capacity. Oh, come back to me in a month. Or I love to use the word capacity because capacity has nothing to do with them. If I do not have the capacity to do this task, that's on me. And it has nothing to do with you, but my limited capacity, like my free time, is not an indication of my availability. If I say I'm free on Saturday, that doesn't mean free to hang out. It means free to be in monk mode and read books all day, because that's how I love myself. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I like that. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Such a great question.
This can be your day for personal growth. This can be that day you committed to and you remember and you go, that was the day I got myself a community. I got better coaches. I committed to making my life the absolute best that I could. This is that day. Make today your growth day. Click the button on this page and sign up right now.